Hey, what's up, guys? Private Eye Russ here. Privateinvestigatorruss at gmail.com, at Private Eye Russ on X. Apologies for the lack of content recently. I'll explain why. That's why I'm making this video. But I'm on a false accusation case, and when you're working on these, especially criminal defense, it's kind of all hands on deck. I do have some research projects that are being worked on by myself and some of my a couple of my researchers, but especially with these cases, people don't understand the impact just the accusation and being arrested for a false accusation. I won't say the word because it's not very social media friendly, but when your reputation is ruined just with the accusation. Most people don't wait to see how things go from that point forward. They just, if you're accused, they make the assumption that you are guilty. And yes, I am on my favorite highway, I-4. It's always an experience. But that's why there's been a lack of content. I do have videos that I've made, but I'm not really satisfied with some of them, so I'm redoing some of them. I've got articles I've written, I've got other things I've written, but one of my problems is that I get a little bit obsessive sometimes, and if I don't like the way it reads, I'll scrap things, I'll write things over completely, and that's one of my issues. It's like with some of these cases, I tend to get a little bit obsessive sometimes. Not very good necessarily for my health or whatever, or even relationships, I'm sure, because when I was married, I'd have to get up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I'd be just gone and parts unknown. And so I know that can't be very very pleasant for a partner, but this is what I do. And so in one particular case, I talked to the attorney. We'd been beating our heads up against the wall with this case, and it was a significant case. Obviously, I won't go into details about it, but loss would have been very, very bad. And so the attorney was like, "Look, I need you to find X for me. I need you to get a witness for me on this particular case. This is what I need." He said, "If we don't have this," he said, "it's likely that we might lose this case." I said, "Okay." And so I worked all night. I did a bunch of research, and I had to go to my search had to be in the Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, so Tampa, St. Pete area. And I left my house at 5 a.m., stopped, had a bottle of water and I think maybe some coffee, fueled up my car, and I went to work. I had a list of 40 addresses I had to hit. And so I started hitting addresses earlier than I should have. Around 7:15, 7:30, I finally got a witness after beating my head up against the wall literally all day and all into the night. I called the attorney at about 10:45, and hold on. You gotta wonder how these scammers get your phone number. Sorry for the interruption, but and so I called him about 10:45, 10:30. And I said, "Man, I got a witness finally. I got a statement from the guy." And it was a good news, bad news. It was a good news, bad news type scenario, which I'll explain. I got the witness. I got a statement from him, and he was willing to help with this particular endeavor. Obviously, again, I can't go into details, but he was critical, and he was outstanding. I would say as witnesses go, he was a 10 out of 10. I have a different scaling criteria. I used to judge a lot of different things, and that's one of them. So, he checked off on every box. Now, I told the attorney, I said, "There's good news, bad news," and he was like, "Okay, what's the bad news?" And I said, "Okay, the bad news is that." The good news is that he is an excellent witness. The bad news is that he's a Nazi. And the client, the attorney, happened to be Jewish. And so there was silence. He was like, "You're joking." I was like, "No, I'm not joking." He's like, "How do you know?" I said, I asked him about the copy of Mein Kampf. He actually had a copy of Mein Kampf as I was sitting in his living room talking to him. I said, "But besides that, he's actually a really good witness." And there was just silence. And I've known this attorney for more than a decade. I've done a bunch of work for them in their firm. And so he goes, "Man, have you eaten at all today or drank anything?" And I had to think, and I was like, "I don't think I have." And so I just went you know, I just get focused on what I'm doing, and I just went go, 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 go. I was so dehydrated, I couldn't even spit. But I got the goods, and the attorney did wind up winning the case. You know, I'm not saying I won the case for him. I didn't, because, you know, these attorneys, they do their thing. I just provide some of the raw materials and, you know, some of the data and the pieces they need. So I'm just a cog in the wheel of the machine, but I try to play my part as best I can. And in this case, we got to win. And so the racer boys are out. Of course, 2 BMW M2s blasting down the road. Good for them. Anyway, so again, there will be more stuff coming in the future. Probably tonight I'll start posting again. I'll put this video out today on YouTube, Instagram, as well as on X. But right now I'm about to get off the freeway to go to the literally stereotypical shady location to talk to shady characters. But, you know, some work we do as private investigators can be done online. There's a lot I can do online with research and piecing things together. But, you know, this is old school private eye work, getting in your car, knocking on doors, talking to people. And that's one of my strong suits. So anyways, your boy Private Eye Russ, privateinvestigatorruss at gmail.com, at Private Eye Russ on X. And I will be talking to you guys soon.